This week in our Eye on Money series, we focus on the costly mistakes people make with their finances. Student loan debt is a huge problem for many graduates and their families. College students graduate with an average debt of more than $28,000. Nationwide student debt topped $1.5 trillion at the end of 2018. We spoke to Megan Combs, who went to college to pursue an art career. At age 32, she is still struggling to pay for her education.
I just want to get this paid. I just want to be in the clear. I'm so tired of this debt.
Megan Combs is burdened by the student loans she took out to pursue her dream of working in the arts.
I was 5 years old and I was drawing stick figures, and I think the enthusiasm from my parents about my stick figures made me want to be an artist.
After receiving her undergraduate degree, she owed just under $10,000 in student loans. Combs was told in order to achieve her goal of being a museum curator, she needed a master's degree.
I was accepted in New York City, and so I thought, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be so easy to get a museum job in New York City. So my dad actually encouraged me to live off of my loans and to not work during grad school, because he said you need to devote 110% of your time and energy to this.
Combs took out $61,000 in loans and has made nearly $27,000 in payments. But because those payments were too small to cover the interest, she now owes $66,000, more than her original loans.
I will shoulder some of the blame there because I should have read the fine print on every single one of my loans.
After pursuing a career in the art world for 5 years without finding full-time work, Combs made a career change. She now works at a tech startup, but is still struggling to pay off her student loan debt.
I'm able to pay about $900 a month on it. You know, that is really stretching me as thin as I can possibly go.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger writes about the impact of college debt in her new great book, The Dumb Things Smart People Do with Their Money, 13 Ways to Right Your Financial Wrongs. She is also a certified financial planner. And Jill, you are somebody Megan should have called. Many people can relate to her, obviously. She owes $66,000 on her loan. What should she have done differently?
Again, if we could turn back time, she would have actually thought, what is it that I can do with this graduate degree? Because as you said, she graduated undergrad with less than $10,000. So you really want to be realistic. What will this do for me? And now we've got so much information about what careers will pay. So do a little research. Will this degree actually allow me to get a job that pays enough? And, you know, when I look at that being realistic, it really has to be a family thing. I love that her father is sort of encouraging, but at some point you want, as a family, to say, hey, wait a second, we got to take a time out here and see what's going to happen. You want to also read the fine print of those loans, because don't forget, she did say that. She didn't realize she was getting into a payment program which would kind of freeze the loan and actually have it increase over time. And I would say the biggest piece for her is she's going to try to, right now, accelerate the pay down of this debt. $900 a month, great. Every available dollar, maybe she puts into the match for her retirement account, but use all money to pay that loan down as quickly as possible.
So you think she's on a right path now, paying $900 a month?
I think if she can do more, great.
And for parents and students who are now going to be getting their acceptance letters into college over the next few weeks, what are some of the negotiating tips? Because I was surprised in your book, you say you can negotiate college tuition.
This is a fascinating fact that is not actually very widely disseminated, and that is that when you get your package from various schools, you can kind of play one against the other. Now, you have to do so as the student, him or herself. Mommy and daddy, you can't call. So what you want to do is you want to say to the college, hey, ABC University has given me a package worth this much. Could you match it? Can you actually help me out? What kind of work study is there going to be? Again, you've got to figure out whether this degree is going to translate into a career, and you can pay that debt down and actually achieve your future financial goals.
And we know millions of Americans will have to resort to taking out a student loan. There's nothing wrong with that. But what are some of the things they should look out for?
So the big trap that people fall into is just taking on gobs of debt, like Megan did, assuming the best case scenario. Now I want you to assume the worst case scenario and say to yourself, hey, I'm going to be having a job that's not going to make that much money. So think of it this way. The first job you get out of college, let's say you make $30,000. That's the total amount of borrowing that should be done. And for parents, I don't care whether your kid wants to be the most sophisticated artistic collector in the world or academic. Do not delay any retirement plans on your part to put those kids through school. You as a family have to be realistic. You have to all be able to afford these decisions. College degrees pay off, but they don't do so if you have the overhang of thousands and thousands of dollars of debt, either for the parents, the grandparents, or the kids.
Think about the long-term ripple effects.
Indeed.
Jill, great to have you on. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Everybody go buy your book. And if you have questions about student loan debt, head to the CBS This Morning Facebook page now. And Jill will continue the conversation and answer your questions there.